And welcome once again. So good to see you joining us again as we learn to code and we learn to solve problems with coding. I hope that you've been having an absolutely fantastic week so far. I know that I've just really enjoyed spending this time with you, being able to play together, being able to code together, to do some algorithms, to think about, what robots could we make? I hope that you are still thinking of what robots you would like to make and that you'd like to kind of submit as part of our competition. But before we get too far into that, let me just say, in case we haven't met properly, this is me. I am Mr. Olsen or Mr. O, or pretty much anything that you'd like to call me that starts with an O. So you can call me Mr. Oats, Mr. Omo, or apparently this morning, Mr. Oof. It started off as Mr. Oof. I don't know if you've ever used the word oaf before. It's kind of a funny word. I don't think it's a very nice word. So I rather chose Mr. Oof. You know, like when you accidentally fall down and you lose all the air in your lungs, suddenly, oof, like that. Okay, so let's go on to the competition, our Afronovate competition. And that is part of what we're doing this week. And that's what I'm also here to help. How can you guys use technology to solve a problem in your community or school? Now, that might sound a whole lot like, whoa, Mr. O, that sounds like way too big. I have no idea. Well, I think you do. And I want to help you with that idea. So we are going to be, as we go through this lesson, I'm going to be helping you out just a little bit with that. As we go, we'll talk about this competition, but I also do want to mention that if you are interested in making apps, so this can be for mom and dad as well, if you've got any older brothers and sisters as well, but also for you. Today at 4 p.m., there is a whole awesome workshop just about making apps and how we can make apps. You know how we've been using Scratch Junior? Well, we use a lot of the same sort of concepts, like our events and movements and all sorts of things like that. We could use that to make our very own apps that people could use on a phone. Maybe that could even help with the competition. Anyways, we'll speak about that as we go along further. Remember that as we do go through, if you do have any questions or if you just want to say something and you just really want everyone to hear it, then you can put your hand up and then we can chat as we go. If I go too quickly, if I go too slowly, if I do something that's just so mega confusing, then please do let me know. I do like to actually talk with you and hear from you. So it's really great that we do get to do that. We've got our little doggy, Suzie. Do you remember Suzie the doggy? I wonder what Suzie the doggy is doing on her computer, her tablet this morning. What do you think Suzie is doing on her little tablet? Oh, it's not that little, her tablet this morning. What are some of the things that you like to do? And do you think Susie's doing them? Put your hands up if you've got an idea. Yes. What do you think Suzie is doing? Bahia, do you have an idea?
Yeah, coding.
Yes, coding. And what do you think Suzie the dog is coding? Maybe a game or a story or some music? Or what do you think?
Or an app.
Oh, an app. Whoa, maybe Susie's already learned how to make an app. Okay, maybe Susie's going to help with teaching how to make an app this afternoon at 4 o'clock. Yeah, if you need those details or anything, then please do reach out. Let me know, and I will let you know. Kaylee, what else do you think Suzie is doing? Maybe making an app is one thing. What else?
Maybe she's playing a video game.
Oh, maybe she's playing a video game. I wonder what sort of video games Suzie would play. Do you think Suzie would play a game where it's all about just chasing cats, or I don't know, something like that? That would be very, very fun. Okay, let's think now. Let's think very clearly about, should we code? Is there any point to it? Is it a good idea to code? I think we basically all understand now that coding is talking the right language to a computer so that it can follow our instructions and do things. But is there any point to it? Do you think it's a good thing to code? Or is this just, don't really need to do it all that much? Kaylee, you got an idea. Yes, what do you think? Do you think we should code?
Yes.
Oh.
Maybe we can help people with coding in this world.
Oh my goodness, that is such a good point. Thank you so much for that, Kaylee. Kaylee says that, hey, well, we could use coding for helping people because we can create things on computers. We can make robots and do things that will help people. And that's what we are going to be focusing on in the second half of the lesson today. Thank you so much for that. That's just so encouraging to hear that we can use coding and we should use coding to help others. So this morning, first, we are going to carry on exploring Scratch Junior. And as we go through Scratch Junior, I'm going to ask you questions as we go. So I'm going to open it up and I'm going to ask you these questions. I'm going to ask you, what do you see that seems exciting? I'm also going to ask you, what seems strange? And I'm also going to ask you, what seems confusing? So as we open up Scratch Junior in just a moment, I'm going to be asking you those questions. But first thing, I think we all need to wake up a little bit. Maybe it's just me. So please make sure that you are standing up on your feet and then put your hands, and then turn into a chicken and do a chicken dance. Make some chicken sounds. And now do some jumps like a kangaroo. 3 more jumps. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now turn your head around. Turn your neck. Move it all around. Now nod your head. And now shake your head. And now shake your entire body like a jellyfish. That's it. Shake it. Whoa, don't fall over. Shake it. Oh. Okay. Are we good? Are we awake? I feel like I'm a little bit more awake now, so thank you that you can help me with that. Okay, let's go jump over to Scratch Junior, and I'm going to be asking you some questions as we go through this. So let's look at the project that we started yesterday. And with this project, oh, look how slow she's going. That's because I was playing around with it. So as we look at this, and just look at this program called Scratch Junior. If you don't have it downloaded or you don't have it yet, then please do have a look at yesterday's video and the video the day before. We did go through that. Otherwise, do let me know if you are struggling to get a hold of it and struggling to get it downloaded, but you can get it on Android, on Apple devices, all of those. Just go to the app stores, search for Scratch Junior, and you'll get it there. There's also another way to get it on desktop, but we spoke about those in the previous videos. Okay. So as you look now at Scratch Junior, as this whole program, look at all of the little parts of it. Look at the logo over there, all these pictures and all these things up top. We've got numbers, we've got little tabs. We've got this whole space and we've got lots of buttons. Oh, it makes quite satisfying sounds. Oh, I like those sounds. So as you look at that, what makes you excited? When you look at this, you go, oh, that looks cool. Oh, that looks cool. Let me give you an example. I want to show you one of the things that makes me excited. I get excited by seeing this paintbrush thing. I think that's really cool because that seems to show me that maybe we can do some painting. Maybe we can do some really cool painting. We can draw our own pictures and things like that. So I think that's an exciting thing. Whoa. And then when I tap or click it, then it opens it up. And this is also really exciting for me. Look at all the colors we can use. We can even take pictures. We can stamp things, it looks like, and cut things out and refresh things and change things and move things. And, oh, okay, that looks really, really cool. Okay, so now as you have a look, what do you think looks really exciting in Scratch Junior? Put your hand up if you've got an idea, or you can even just shout it out loud at the screen, but it's really great to hear from you guys. What makes you excited? What do you think is exciting about Scratch Junior? Let's start off with Kaylee. Yes, Kaylee, what makes you excited about Scratch Junior?
the painting, and also that we can draw the pictures that we want.
Oh, that is super cool. Yeah, you know what? That's also true for me. I think that might just be the most exciting part of Scratch Junior is that we can draw our very own pictures. In fact, we're going to be doing that just a little bit later this morning. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. And now I want to ask you, as you look at Scratch Junior here, as you look at this program, maybe you've just joined us and this is the first time you're seeing it. What looks kind of strange here on Scratch Junior? What do you look at and go, whoa, that's kind of weird. Why is that there? Let's actually just mush it together with the next question as well and say, what looks strange or what looks confusing as you look at Scratch Junior? Is there anything that you look at and you're like, well, that's kind of weird. I don't understand what's going on there. You can put your hand up and then you can let us. No, Lumi. Good morning, Lumi. What looks strange or confusing to you as you look at Scratch Junior here? Oh, sorry, I accidentally muted you. That was my fault. Let's get you unmuted again. There we go. Yes, Lumi. Sorry. Yes. What looks strange or confusing to you?
The buttons, like all the stuff you use to code to go up and down.
Yeah, those do look kind of strange and confusing. Hey, I mean, there are some weird ones. I thought this one looked like some of the strangest things that there are. Look at all these orange ones where we've got a clock and a hand and a person walking and a thing that says do that. And there's quite a few confusing things in there and strange things in there. Oh, thank you for adding that in, Lumi. And yes, Kaylee, what do you see that looks kind of strange and confusing?
This top button that has the letters. I'm not quite sure what it does.
This one over here. Yeah, that is a little bit, yes, that is a bit strange and confusing. Why is that there? I mean, if we can get our characters. Oh, that's kind of odd. Well, what I want to ask you, maybe this is what we can help each other out with this morning. When we see something strange or confusing in Scratch Junior, or maybe we're in App Maker or Scratch or another program where we're learning to code and where we're creating things with coding. When we see something that is strange or confusing, what do you think we can do to figure out what it does? What strategy or what algorithm, if we're going to use big words and sound super scientific and smart and mathematical, what algorithm could we follow? What steps could we follow to figure out what something does? I mean, we've said that there are a lot of these that really look quite confusing and strange. You know, what does that one do? And what does that one do? And what does this one do up here? What could we do to figure out what these actually do, to get a little bit less confused about what they do? Do you guys have any ideas? What do you think we could do to become a little bit less confused as we use Scratch Junior and maybe even other programs that have things that we're not quite sure of? Oh, let's hear from, yes, Lumi. Lumi, what do you think we could do to figure this out?
You can just go to Google sometimes, and sometimes you can just tap them and see what happens.
Good. I think you've got some good strategies going on here. So remember, it's very, very important that you, if you do want to Google it or find out more about it, that you do that with mommy and daddy. Because Google is something that wasn't made for young boys and girls. It was made for grown-ups. So that's why we need a grown-up whenever we use a device or anything like that. And you also said maybe we could tap it. We could try something like that. I saw that Khanya had your hand up. Khanya, was there anything that you wanted to say? Did you want to add anything to that? What did you want to say?
Yes. Well, what is that thing for? The one with the lines.
Which one? One of these?
Yes.
Up top here?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So those are some more kind of confusing things. And if we used some of Lumi's techniques, well, we could Google it, or we could maybe even tap on it. We'll try that in just a moment. Let's hear from Kaylee before we do that. Yes, Kaylee, what do you think we could do to make this a little bit less strange and confusing?
We can ask an adult to help us.
Oh, you can ask an adult to help us. Hopefully an adult who knows Scratch Junior and knows what to do over here. Because I know I've actually taught quite a few teachers a little bit about coding using Scratch Junior. And if I'm honest, some of them, when they first looked at this program, they were like, what do I do, Mr. O? And then I helped them out with that as well. So if we have someone who knows what to do, maybe they can help us. But I also really like your idea of, in this program, especially in Scratch Junior, let's just tap on it. Let's just try it out. Because, in this program, it's actually quite hard to do something wrong. In fact, just by playing around and trying things out and tapping them and dragging them around, we can learn a whole lot and make it a lot less strange and confusing. Let's do that with a few of the things that we were confused about this morning, like this A, B, C circle that we have over here. We tap that. Oh, that opens that up. It's got some other things over here, and we can type. Oh, look, we could write something. I've typed in there, coding is cool. And look at that. Now it puts that up there, and we can even move that around. And now that's part of our platform over there. That's really, really cool. So we've discovered more about it, made it a little bit less and strange, confusing by just trying it out, by not being afraid to give that a go. We've also said, this one looks a little bit confusing over here with the lines. Whoa, look at that. That makes this whole grid. This will be really useful if we want to measure how fast or how slow or something like that, or how far something moves. That's really, really cool. Okay, that could come in handy. And we've also said that some of these are really confusing. And Lumi even said, well, what if we just tap on it? And this one says set speed. This one says stop. This one says wait for a certain amount of time. Let's see what happens when we use this set speed on our lady over here. Does this change anything? Oh, there we go. She's moving kind of at that speed. And we've got a little arrow. Whenever we see a little arrow, if that seems strange or confusing, well, let's just try and tap it and see what happens. So we'll tap there, and we've got one that's just kind of standing there, one that's got 2 lines, and one that's got a lot of lines. I think that means moving slowly, moving at kind of a bit of a faster pace, and then moving really, really fast. Let's make her move fast. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, look, we've put that there. So now I think she'll move fast. Let's see. Fast. Do you think you could run that fast? I wonder if the zebra could run that fast. Okay. So what we figured out so far is that we can just tap on things and try them out and see what they do. In Scratch Junior, we don't need to be afraid of tapping or doing the wrong thing. We can just play and experiment and try it out. That is absolutely awesome. So with that in mind, let's have a look through some of these buttons. We're going to look through all of these buttons at the bottom. Don't worry, you don't need to remember everything I say about them, but if something does seem exciting and you're like, oh, I want to use that, remember that, and then you can go ahead and you can use that. Some of them might still seem confusing, and that's all right, because now you know how you can make it less confusing. Our first yellow section over here, these are the coding blocks that help us with events. They tell us when our code should run. For example, we've got this one that says start on green flag. That's the one we've been using over here. But we could also attach one that says start on tap this lady. So now whatever code we have attached over here will run when we tap on her. Whoa, look at her go. There we go. And she's kind of shooting through across to the other side of the screen and just running around the park. Whoa, I think she has had a lot of sugar. Look how much energy she has. So that is another event. We've also got another event that says start when we bump into someone else. And we've got a bit more of a confusing one, which is start on orange message. And we've got send orange start message. We'll talk about those tomorrow a little bit more, and maybe even on Friday we will get to those. That'll be cool. Okay, so those are our events. And remember, if you've ever got a block of code in here and there are so many and you just don't know what to do with all of them like that, it's just got so full and you're like, I don't know what to do. You can drag them out and delete them up here. You tap, drag, and then let them go up there. I want to attach that one again, and let's move this lady down there. Now we've got our blue ones, and our blue ones are all about moving, 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 moving. We've even got ones like turn right and turn around. In fact, let's try this one because it looks like a turn like that. And I'm going to make this a nice big number. What about 20? Let's see what that does. So now we've got these steps for this lady over here is move to the right 13 times and go up once and then turn right 20 times. I wonder what that's going to look like. Let's see. And Spencer, whoa, whoa. Oh, that made me dizzy. Oh, boy. She's not too dizzy. And there we go. Now she's back to where she was. We've also got turn the other way. We've got one that says jump up. Let's see what that one does. Then she goes up and then she does a little jump. Hey, that was pretty cool. And we've even got one that says go home. I wonder what that one does. Let's see. Let's just try it out. There, it just made her go all the way back to where she started. Okay, let's quickly talk through these then. We've got one that we can use. In fact, let's use this one on our zebra. So I'm going to change from putting the code on coding our teen, our lady over here, to coding our zebra over here. And we've got these pink kind of purpley ones selected. And we've got one that has a speech bubble and has the letters H and I, H and E. And that together spells hi. Well, we can put something in here as well. Hi, coders. And let's see what that does. If we type that in. There our zebra said, hi, coders. Look at that. So we can get our zebra to say something like that. We can also get it to grow big, or we can get it to get small. Look, it's the tiniest zebra. It's like a little rat zebra. Maybe we could just make it off far in the distance, and then it makes a little bit more sense. Over there, that actually looks pretty cool. I like that. Look at that, just kind of popping up in the background. Oh, and then we've got one that says go back to your original size. So that's how big it normally is. We've got this one that says disappear. Where did it go? Where did it go? Well, we can always just bring it back with that one. Remember, you don't need to remember all of these, but if there is one that is really exciting, try to remember just where that one is. We've got this one, which I'm not going to be able to show you a lot of, but this is such a cool one because you can tap over here and then you will be able to record your very own voice. And you can get a character to say something to, that'll be really, really cool. Okay, so if we have a look over here, this is making a pop sound. We can make our very own sounds. We've got this tricky one over here. This one says, wait. Let's drag this in and see what happens. Let's put it just over there. So it has the number 10. So that's 10. Okay, so it says 10 over there. Our code says when we push the green flag, go up. Up, waiting. So that's what that one does. Just makes us wait. This one can also just make us stop if we have any other code running. There we go. Okay, so that just stops it. It doesn't really do much for us now, but there are going to be some times where that will be helpful. We've seen our set speed, and we've got this really cool one over here. What do you think this one does? I want to hear from you guys because I've just spoken so much now, and I think you're falling asleep. What do you think this one does over here? Let's see if we've got some ideas. Don't worry about being wrong. Just take a guess. Have a look at some of the clues that we have, and let's think about what this might be. Let's start with Lumi. Yes, Lumi, what do you think this funny orange block does?
You can just put one of a block and then I'll do it 4 times, or if you wanted to do more, you can put another number.
Good. Well done. That's absolutely right. That's one way that we can do it. So you said that we can maybe put one block in here, and then maybe we've got to attach it, and then it's going to do that however many times we put in here. Oh, very good thinking. Let's just quickly see what that does over here. So we're gonna push over there, and then down. Whoa! So that did it 4 times. So there we can see that there are a bunch of different ways that we can do that. Okay, let's hear from Kaylee. Yes, Kaylee, what else did you want to add to that? What else do you think this does?
More blocks than just one. I've used it before.
Oh, cool. Excellent thinking. Thank you for that. That we don't need to just put in one block. We can put in lots of blocks. So let's put in, maybe not just go down. What if we put in a go to the left as well? And whatever we put in here, it's going to repeat however many times we put here. So I wonder if we put in a really big number like 34. Let's see what that does. Can you count all the way to 34? That's really high. The computer can. Let's see what that does now. Oh, and there it's going up and down. Oh, there it's still going. Hey, that looks like a nice little dance. A little zebra dance, little zebra dance. It dances for really long. If something's going on too long and we want to stop it, then we can just tap on that red kind of, how many sides did it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That hexagon that we have up here. We can just tap on that and then it'll stop our code from running. Yes, Lumi, what else did you want to add? Lumi, was there anything else you wanted to say? Or was your hand just still up? Oh, okay, cool. We can carry on with that. Okay, so that's going to be really, really handy. So if we have something like that and we want it to repeat lots and lots and lots of times, we don't have to wait for it to do, to run by itself, or we don't have to drag in all of these blocks. We can just put them in a repeat block. That is great thinking. And then we've also got this one over here, which has a little kind of cap at the end. That one just looks really nice and neat. Or we've got this one over here. And I think I want to ask you guys again, because it's so great to hear that so many of you know a lot about Scratch Junior and can help us out so much. Or maybe you're just making kind of good guesses. What do you think this red block over here does? It's got 2 arrows. Oh, it looks a little bit mysterious. What do you think that it does? Let's hear. Oh, let's hear from Khanya. Yes, Khanya, what do you think it does?
I think it repeats things and repeats and repeats.
Ah, good thinking. Yes, okay. So let's try it out. If we're not quite sure, let's just try it out and see what it does. But Khanya says, hey, well, this is going to go and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and then repeat some more. So this will just repeat forever. So let's change that over here so we can actually get to the end of our block. We can actually see when our code is running over here. And there we go. Look, when it gets to the end, then it just goes back to the start. So our zebra is just going to keep doing this forever and ever and ever. Yo, it just goes and goes and goes. Okay, we can stop it with that one. And if we had, there's one more block that we can't see over here. I'm going to tap on here to add in a new background. Let's just add in maybe just a snowy, wintry place over here. And if we come back to this one, look, we've got a new block over here. And this one helps us to change to the next scene over here. Now, if you are on a cell phone or a tablet, then this will look a little bit different, because on your one, it actually brings across these 2 characters that we have. But on this desktop one, it doesn't do that, and that's all right. So let's see what this code does. So it's going to repeat that twice, say hi, and then swap over to there. Oh, that's place. Very, very cool. We're also able to, if we've made a mistake. So say, for example, we've dragged something in, we didn't actually want to do that. We've got this handy dandy little arrow over here, which helps us to undo. And that can help us to undo what we've just done. You see, it started to take away what we've done. So that's, if we do make a mistake, we don't even know what that mistake was, we can tap on that and that will undo our mistake. That'll help us to go back. Let's hear from Khanya. Yes, Khanya, what did you want to add to that? Khanya, did you want to say anything else with that? Oh, maybe not. Maybe your hand is still just up. Let's hear from Lumi. Yes, Lumi, what else did you want to say about this? Oh, nothing else. Well, people just like to put their hands up sometimes. You know what? I do too. Okay, cool. So from here, we've got a kind of a basic understanding of a lot of Scratch Junior. Let me just show you where we can change our project name. So if you want to give your project a name and you want to practice your typing a little bit and practice some spelling and recognizing and knowing some letters, you can do this too. In your top right-hand corner, you've got this little kind of blocky thing. If you tap on that, it takes you here. And from here, you can type in your project. I'm going to call mine Scratch Junior is fun. That's what that says. It says Scratch Junior is fun. So now I know what my project is called. If I want to come back to it, then I can. So let's head back home over here. And there we can see it says Scratch Junior is fun. Very cool. Now we're going to hop back over. We are going to come back to Scratch Junior. Don't you worry. We're going to do some really cool coding together. And I'm really looking forward to it. But we want to get back to this topic of how can we use coding to help people? You know, there was, I'm also teaching a grade 4 class, and we've got some great, I've heard some cool ideas around there. And someone in there, oh, I can't remember. Oh, her name is Lady, and she came up with this idea and she said, hey, I know how we can use technology to make people's lives better. What if we had a robot that could come to hospitals and help sing to people, to boys and girls, and entertain them and help them to feel better? I think that is such a brilliant idea. So she's making a whole project, coding a whole project like that. She's probably not going to be able to build an entire robot just in this time, but I think she's going to have a great entry with that one. Yes, Lumi, what other ideas do you have? How do you think we could use code to make people's lives better, or technology to make people's lives better, if that's what you wanted to say?
I was just saying that how do you get back? I was just saying that, are we out of Scratch Junior?
Just for a little bit, we are going to come back. So if you've got Scratch Junior open, then you're welcome to leave it open if you are coding along. Otherwise, because we are going to come back in just a moment. Okay, we're just going to talk through one or two other things about how we can use coding to help solve problems. And then we are going to come back. In fact, let's do that right now. We can ask each other, how can we make the world a better place with coding? So first, we need to think about what are some of the problems that people have. If you think about, if you're at a school with other boys and girls, what are some of the problems you might have there? Or what are some of the problems in our community? We spoke about this a little bit on Monday, and we're actually going to be running with one of those ideas, but I want to hear more from you guys. What other problems do you see happening in your community or in your school or just in the world? Anything here? Well, one over here, we've got someone who's very sad. This kind of blobby person, maybe they're sad because they are a blobby. And we've got, oh, okay, let's hear, we've got a few ideas starting to come in. Let's hear from Khanya. Yes, Khanya, what problem, what are some of the problems that you see people having?
Sometimes they throw rubbish inside the ocean, and the turtles eat them, and then they get died.
Oh my word, isn't that so very, very sad? You've got this turtle that's just kind of swimming along and it thinks there's some nice food and it eats it and it's actually plastic. And yes, that kills turtles. There are all of the, if we look at this picture of all of this plastic and all of this rubbish that just washes up, oh, it's so sad. It damages the marine life. It's really not good. And this plastic, it's going to be around. It doesn't break apart very quickly at all. It could take up to 100 years, sometimes way more than that. It's going to be around long after even we are dead. Whoa. Problems do we see or have that maybe we could use coding to solve or technology to solve? Do you have any more ideas? Okay, maybe not there. That's right. You can jump in again a little bit later if you do think of another one. Otherwise, Lumi. Yes, Lumi, do you have any other ideas?
Yes. What was the question you asked?
The question was, what are some of the problems that we see in the world? What are some of the bad things that we see happening? It could be close to where we're living or even further away. What are some of the problems, some of the bad things that we see in the world?
Some people litter.
That is a big one, isn't it? And that litter is really bad for us because, you know, it can bring in lots of germs as well. It makes our streets look dirty. And if there are cans and things on the floor there, it could cut people and be actually quite dangerous. Oh, that's also a very, very good point. Okay, we're going to hear from Khanya and Kaylee, and then we're going to move on to one idea we have for maybe how we could code and solve this problem. Okay, yes, Khanya, what else would you like to add?
I think we can program three robots and
Yeah, we can
scoop up the water and clean up the rubbish.
Oh, I really do like that idea. What if we had a robot that could clean all that rubbish up for us? That would be amazing. That would be so cool. That's going to take a lot of coding and a lot of problem solving and thinking, and we'd make so many mistakes along the way. But that would be so incredibly cool. I really do like that idea. And let's ask you hear from Kaylee. Yes, Kaylee, what other idea do you have?
I have that we make a robot that cuts the nets. Because some fisher nets, they just leave in the ocean and it traps fish and turtles.
Oh, yes, and that's absolutely terrible. And I've seen that before. I've seen seagulls because I live nice and close to the sea, nice and close to the ocean, and I've seen that. I've seen seagulls with nets around their legs and fishing gut, which is that line, that string that fishermen use, and all this rubbish hurting animals. Oh, it's really, really heartbreaking, and it's something that we can do something about. Okay, so we've got our very big ideas around robots and making these big ones that can do it. Well, I want to show you, or I want to talk through one possible solution that we have. And I'm going to code through this, and I'm going to ask you some questions along the way, and then we are going to build this together. Because I've seen people in my community here who have seen a lot of rubbish along the beach, and mainly along the beach and in our community around a little bit as well. And they have said, every time you go to the beach, just pick up 2 or 3 pieces of rubbish. Take some gloves along. That's what we say as well, because there could be germs on there. Well, there most likely are some at least. And pick up a few pieces of rubbish and then throw them away. So that's already a start to the solution. But how could we tell people about that? Well, I think that we could use Scratch Junior and we could use coding to make that a little bit more exciting and show people how they can do it. Because if you just see a board that says pick up litter, well, a lot of people ignore that. But if you see some movement and you see some cool things, well, then you could make a difference. Then you could really get someone's attention and raise awareness so that people know to pick up their litter and other people's litter. Let's hear. Yes, Khanya, you've also got an idea. What would you like to say, Khanya?
Sometimes they have to pick up their rubbish and put them in the dustbin.
Yes. I think we should all do that. Well, what I need to do is start just carrying gloves around so that I can do that, because that's going to be a very, very important thing to do. That if you see rubbish, it's important to pick it up, but make sure you're either wearing gloves or that you wash your hands and sanitize your hands straight afterwards, which is a little bit more challenging to do when you're on the beach. So that's why I think gloves is a very good idea. Yes, Lumi, did you also have an idea with that?
I was saying that, as you're saying that, sometimes you must hold gloves around wherever you go. You sometimes also have to hold plastics because sometimes there won't be dustbins around.
Oh yes, that's very true. So maybe even a paper bag or something like that we could put the rubbish into wherever we go. That's an interesting idea. We would have is trying to get people to use less plastics and just buy less things, because we've just got way too much of everything. That's what I think, at least, and I think a lot of people really do. We're going to focus on one part of that, and that is dealing with the rubbish we have now and trying to get people aware that we should be picking up rubbish. We should be very safe while we do that. And I've loved your ideas of gloves, of having some clean plastic that we could use to pick it up and maybe put it in a paper bag and throw it away when we do see a rubbish bin. These are fantastic ideas. All right, so we're going to help our friend here, Tick, to find some rubbish and pick it up. But you know what? Let's not use Tick. Let's find someone together who we want to use in our program to show people that they should pick up rubbish. Okay, so I got rid of tick over there. The way that I did that was doing a long press on tick until he wiggled about and there was a little X, and then I tapped on that X. So let's add in a new character by tapping on this cross, this plus sign over here. And now we can look. Which character should we use? Who do you think would be on a beach, walking along and picking up rubbish? For this one, I suppose it could even just be an animal, but maybe a person would be better. What do you think? Let's see hands up. Who do you think we should have going and picking up some rubbish? Yes, Kaylee. Kaylee, who do you think we should have walking on the beach and picking up rubbish?
Go down to the people, please.
Sure, here they are.
And also, let's pick this girl over here with the purple skirt.
Purple skirt, this girl over here.
No, the other girl.
Is there another purple skirt? Oh, this one over here, this first one.
Yes.
Okay, let's do that one. Okay, great. So we're gonna let's see if we'll choose. Yeah, we'll choose her over there, and then let's also hear from Dadan. Oh, we lost you there. Where did you go? There we go. You can also add in. Yes, what would you like to say, Dadan? Or is it
The
Dudu?
fairy.
Oh, maybe the fairy. You know, why don't we have the fairy in here as well? I think that's cool because then it makes it even more interesting. I really like that idea. Thank you for that one. So we're going to add in a new character by tapping on this plus over here. And you saw, there's the fairy. So we're going to tap on this fairy. Let's bring this fairy in. But that fairy looks as big as this girl over here. So let's make her smaller. To do that, we're going to use a nice little trick. And we're going to go to this purple section over here. And just like you saw, we drag in this block. And we just tap it a few times. And now look, our fairy is very little. Haha. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then let's hear from Lumi. Yes, Lumi, what else did you want to add?
We can go to the girl with a blue shirt and red shoes.
Yes, awesome. You know, we don't need to just have one person. It could be both of them. Very good. Why don't we have something like this girl drops some rubbish and then this girl comes and picks it up? That's a good way of doing that. Oh, I like that idea. Thank you for that. Okay, now we've got all of the characters that we need. First thing, let's get this fairy moving up and down like a fairy. So she looks like she's flying, and then we can kind of just have that done. So we'll say when the green flag is tapped, we're using that event, then our fairy should go up and then down. And let's just see what that looks like. Okay, that looks like that. And we want that to happen forever, to never stop. So let's see what that looks like. There are fairies just kind of fluttering up and down. And that makes it even more exciting and interesting. Okay, let's hear from, we're going to hear from Kaylee. Yes, Kaylee, what did you want to say?
Why not we put a dustbin as well, so Nora can put the rubbish in there.
Oh, good. Okay. Is this? Oh, yes, Norma. That's right. I forgot her name. We called her in the last one when it was Norma's Adventure. Oh, well done on remembering that. That was really good. So we could have Norma, yes, picking up some rubbish and then putting it in a dustbin. Okay. So let's see if we get there, because that'll be really, really cool. We might have to finish that part tomorrow, but I really like your thinking. First, let's get them on, or next, let's get them on the beach. So to do that, we're going to tap on this up top here. This gets us all of our backgrounds. Can you see a beach? Point out the beach. Do you see it anywhere? Are there any beaches? Yes, there are. There are two of them over here. Well done on spotting those if you did. Let's go with this one over here. Oh, absolutely beautiful and incredible. Oh, look, there are even footsteps. That's interesting. I haven't seen that before. Okay. So now we've got our ferry up there. We've got everyone on the beach. And next thing we need, we're going to draw two things. First, we need some rubbish. Okay, so to do that, we're going to make our very own one. So we're going to go through a little bit of the drawing and the art side of coding, which is, I think, just such a cool, exciting part that it's not just only mathematics and science and all of that, which is incredibly fun, but we get to be creative as well. In fact, to be a really good coder or programmer, you need to be very creative. Okay, so let's pop that over there. And then we are going to go to the brush up here. This is where we are going to make our rubbish. And if you have a look around here, there are going to be a lot of things that we don't do together now. But remember, it's Scratch Junior, so you can just play around, try it out, see what happens. So I'm going to think, I think we should use, which shape should we use, guys? Should we use for our plastic rubbish? Should we use a circle, a square or rectangle, or a triangle? Which shape do you guys think that we should use for this? Let's hear from, yes, Khanya. Khanya, which shape do you think we should use?
I think the triangle.
Ooh, okay. So we're going to have some triangle rubbish. Oh, and maybe we can use, when we make our rubbish bin, we can use a circle or a rectangle over there. Okay, so let's get some triangle rubbish. Maybe it looks something like that. I think that looks cool, hey? Okay. And now we need to, why don't we just make some kind of, make it look a little bit more rubbishy. Wait, before we do that, let's try, let's give it a color first. So what color should we choose out of all of these colors? Which color do you think is going to be a good one for us to choose? Okay, let's hear from, is it Dudu? Is that right? Dudu or Dadan? What color do you think we should choose for our triangle plastic rubbish here?
Purple.
Purple. Hey, purple's a cool color. I like that. Okay, let's choose. Oh, we've even got a few purples. Let's go with this purple over here. Okay, so that's changed the line color over there, but we don't want to just draw a line. We want to fill this in. We want to like pour paint inside there. And we've got the picture for just that. Boop. If we tap that, then we're able to fill in this space. And if we tap inside here, there we go, it's purple. But what if we make a mistake and we do that, tap it out somewhere over there and we choose a color we don't want? Well, we've also got our undo button just over there. Now, on my screen, this is the desktop version, the bigger computer version, and it sometimes makes it do that. So don't worry, your screen isn't broken. It's just the program does a funny thing every now and again. So we are able to undo, but we actually do like that purple. And then let's get maybe some seaweed on it. And I'm going to draw some seaweed like that. Oh, it's looking like it. Does it look like rubbish? I think it does. Kaylee, do you think we should add anything onto that?
I think we should make a vine around a fish or something.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, I really like that idea. Can you hold on to that idea? And you know what? I don't think we're going to make it in this project, but if you make a project and you do that, then it would be awesome if you were able to send it to me. If you're not sure how, if you're on a tablet or a phone where you change the name of your project, you're also able to share it from there and sometimes send it via email so someone else can open it up. Otherwise, you can use a screen recorder. And if you're not sure exactly what that is, then let me know and I will send instructions for that for your mom and dad. So you can do a screen recording of that project, because that would be really, really cool to see. I think that is a brilliant idea, because if somebody sees a fish like that, all wrapped up in plastic, and oh, that does it. It makes you feel something. It makes you feel like you want to do something about it. And that raising awareness, that is a great way to use this technology and to use this code. Okay, so we've got this rubbish over here. I mean, that looks huge, right? It looks massive. So let's also make that one a bit smaller. So we're going to come to our purple looks over there. And you notice that we've got this selected. You see how it's all bigger and orange? That means that we're coding this. We've also got the picture for it down here. So let's too small. Let's make it a little bit bigger so we can all see it. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, so that looks a little bit more like rubbish. Yes, Lumi, what did you want to say? What are you thinking of our project so far?
I was saying that it's giving me problems to draw a triangle.
Oh, is it? Okay. So remember, when you are drawing, you also have this back button over here. And if there's something that you don't like in there, then you tap on your scissors over here, and then you tap on what you want to go away. So if we wanted this green line to go away, then we could tap on that, and then it goes away. So if you've got a shape in there that isn't what you wanted, then you can do that. I'm just going to push undo because I think we do want that. Does that make sense, Lumi?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm glad that helped then. Okay, and then Khanya, yes, what did you want to say? Yes, Khanya, anything?
I thought you could take a picture of the triangle.
Ah, that's a very good idea. So that's another kind of more advanced method. Actually, it's not too hard. You just need a camera on your device. And if you do that, you can tap on this and then tap where you want to have your picture or your camera actually show. I don't have a camera attached to my computer now, so it's not going to look like anything, but I could do that. And then it would show us that where you see the black in the triangle, that's actually a picture that it would take. But like I say, I don't have a camera. So if you want to experiment with that, give that a go and tap this camera and see how you can put a picture there. Maybe even a picture of rubbish. That's a very, very good idea. Well done on that. Okay. So what we want to have happen is we want this girl over here, she's holding this rubbish. And when we push start, we want her to drop it on the floor. And then when it's dropped on the floor, then Noma is going to walk over and pick it up. Let's get that far today because we are running a little bit short of time and we'll be able to carry on with it tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we can carry on and get Noma to pick it up and put it in the rubbish bin. But for now, let's just make sure that she is picking it up. So first, we've got to say that this triangle, when the green flag is pushed, so when we start, we want it to fall down onto the floor. So let's say it really does help to say this out loud. And coders do this all the time. We say out loud exactly what we want to do. So we want this to fall down. Down. Okay, so we need movement. That's blue. And down, we need to look for the down arrow. Do you see it? Ah, there it is. Okay, so down and maybe even a little bit to the right. So it kind of blows with the wind a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so it doesn't look as realistic as we would like, I think. I think we don't need to do the moving right. I think we can just say that it drops maybe 2 or 3 kind of times. Let's see what that looks like now. That looks a little bit better, doesn't it? Okay, let's just get its starting position maybe just over there. Ah, there we go. That looks good, doesn't it? Great. And now we also want Norma over here to walk over and then to pick it up. And when she gets to this, then this should disappear. Let's see if we can do that. So firstly, we've got to make sure that we have Norma selected so that we are putting our code on her. So we look for Norma over here on the left, and then we tap on her. Here she is. Now, any code that we put down here is the code that Norma is going to do. So let's put in a green flag. In fact, all that we're going to do for today is we're just going to get Norma to walk over to there. And we just want her to get to that rubbish. And I'll set for you as a challenge trying to figure out how we can get it to look like she picks it up. Okay, that's going to be the challenge. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, let's get Norma to move all the way to the left. So from where she is to the left towards this girl who we haven't even given her a name. Maybe we can think of a name for her for tomorrow, hey? Okay, I wonder how many times. Maybe, should we try 8 times? Let's see what that looks like so far. There she goes along and, oh, she didn't quite reach there. Let's go maybe 15 times. Let's give that a try and see if she gets there. Good. Oh, that's even a little bit too far. Let's go back one more and let's see if 14 is enough. Let's see. Good. That's exactly where we want her, on the rubbish. Fantastic. Okay, so that's as far as we're going to get for this morning. Just a reminder of a few things as we come back to our PowerPoint over here, is that we are trying to think of how could we use coding and technology to solve a real world problem. If you've designed a robot this week, then on Scratch Junior, you can do a screen record, or you can push share to email it to me. I will show you that tomorrow as well. I'll try and get my phone or a tablet hooked up, and I'll show you how to do that. And yes, today at 4 p.m., there is an awesome workshop, also online on Zoom. You'll be able to see it through your emailers and all that, where you got all of the information about how to make an app on a device. So I definitely recommend that you check that out. That's going to be a really, really cool one. Okay, I think we've got some time for one last question from Khanya, one last thing to say from Khanya. Yes, Khanya, what would you like to say?
Mr. O, do you have worksheets
yes.
for us?
A worksheet? What worksheet would you like?
I got it. Coloring in.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do. I do indeed. You know what? I'll get you some more tomorrow as well. For coding, yes, I will. I'm going to try and I should be able to get. I've still got some around. I will send those to you, right? So if you come tomorrow, then I'll get you some. You're very welcome. Get you some cool coloring in kind of worksheets.
How are you?
Yes, Ipe. Oh, I'm so good. Thank you so much, Ipe. Thank you. Okay, and yes, for Kaylee as well. I'll put it in the chat tomorrow. Okay, so I'll get some worksheets for us to color in, for us to play with. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. And we will see you tomorrow. I hope that you have a brilliant day of coding, of playing, of doing some awesome things and thinking about other people. Thank you very much. And bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Mr. Olsen.